So I figured this out. That's fucking dope, dude. That's cool. Okay. Well, this... Oh, word. I got a whole ton of this shit. This video, while I just kind of keep doing this. So this video is about kind of on the topic, from the topic of the previous one, is about people who take things too seriously. And that I don't think I need to bring it or five. And that, where is it? It's people who take things too seriously. And this can be in a multitude of ways. And it's kind of coming off of the end bit of the previous video about working in restaurants. And that was something that I didn't, because otherwise it would have been 2 fucking hours long. I think these days there is this issue with people just simply having nothing to really garner fulfillment from. And I do think that this is just kind of a obvious, observation, is that social media has given people just such a, skewed concept of what's important, or I don't want to say their own value, but it's kind of like, if everyone's special, then no one's special. If everyone can be everything and there's really no standard of things or agreement on what something is, and as I said in the previous video, which I might make videos talking about this too, because I do have a very extensive history with art, making art, and I'm writing a book about it. But if it's this, art is subjective, there's no metric for what good art is, and that's simply just not true, because people can spot when someone is an attractive person. It's blatantly obvious, and I do have pretty good luck. I don't want to call it luck, but I get a pretty considerable amount of female attention, and I can tell you flat out that women, no matter what belief system they have, no matter what their political belief is, and I know this is a really touchy topic, this is kind of one of those, I don't want to sound all red-pilled or some shit, but women do have a lot of things that they will overlook when it's a guy that they are attracted to. And attraction for women is a lot to do with the way you look, but it's also a lot to do with how you carry yourself. There's more to confidence than just looking good, because I think that dude Clav has made this a point, and he's fucking right when he says this, that it's he is horrible, right? He has no game. He's just a really good looking dude, and that's just the reality of it, that if you're going to choose one or the other, when he says choosing having hair over his dick working, and now that's a bit extreme, but his point is that there are certain just certain things that you really can't get around, and you can't get around when someone knows something is right or not. People can inherently tell when something works. I mean, it's like, it might not be what people want to hear, but I have a pretty long standing experience with art and making art. And something I've absolutely noticed in that time is that there are just people who get it and there's people who don't. Like, and it leads people to want to have this subjective, ever changing, whimsical concept of of things being like right or wrong. But there's just, like, there are just examples of when something is going to be right or wrong. And, when I say people making things more important than they really need to, on the topic of this game, and some of it, I will say that I personally do think have gotten a lot better. And one would be, this content right here, I think is fucking great. This is phenomenal content. It is from each, you do it to each level, so easy to hard. And then it's the same shit, and it's not super complicated. Like, that's what I really like about it. And then they have two different versions of it, where it's the Apex Coliseum is the more strenuous one. And then there is the side Coliseum, which is the much easier one. The rewards aren't really that bad. Like, they're not that bad for how easy it is. Like, which are these? Tier 4s? But you get 30 of these fucking things. I think those are a great addition too. And then you get 3,000 Titan Shards, you get 2,000 Awakening Gem, and it's not that complicated. It's not more important than it needs to be. It's simple. It's simple. And then you're getting 30 also for the one below that. That's 60. Like, what am I at for? I am 33 away. So when I get those two, I will be getting an Ascended 7-star champion. That right there, like a problem I've had with this game is some of the characters that you're playing with are, like their whole build up. Let's see. Is there a specific champ that I can come across and think of or utilize as an example? Gambit could be one. Gambit kind of does it to a small degree. You swipe back, hold block to build his cards. Then you need to heavy attack, preferably heavy cancel, into SP2, into SP1. But it's this threading the need, and if you don't do it right, which fucking sucks because I really like Gambit. I think he is such a cool character in terms of his build. But if you don't do it, then it all falls off. Samurai, unfortunately, is kind of like that. I really, really, really like him, but it is like in Battlegrounds, it is either a huge hit or miss. One that's not going to be popular to say is Onslaught. I'm not a huge Onslaught fan. I have him rank 5. Oh, there he is. There it works. Yeah, there it shows it. I have him rank 5, but I just not really, like, I just don't really like him. Like, I'm not a huge fan. I really like the Doctor Strange, but Onslaught, I'm just not a huge fan. I'm not, because You have to do this to do this to get that to maintain this, and then if it all falls off, you have to start all the fuck back over. And now is it just, oh, it's the, skill, the skill gap is there. Yeah, sure, that's a great way to put it. I'm just not good enough to fucking play him effectively and elitely. That's cool. But don't mean I don't, it mitigates my opinion because he's a pain in the ass to use at times. But before this one's over, I might do a Call of Duty like game run. But who is the champ for this? Okoye? Okay, well, we're just gonna use Okoye then and see how that goes. So I'll get this in 5 days, so that's cool. But something about this game is like, I've said this before, but it's people, and I'm trying to like psychoanalyze people here when I say this, but people, a lot of the problems in the game are, it has to do with the same thing I was talking about restaurants. It's this mentality people have, and the mentality is not having something to really feel fulfillment from. Some of these people don't really have like a you know hard lined talent. They don't have something that brings them deep fulfillment, because I'm going to use him as an example. What's his name? MSD, Metal Sonic dude. And if that motherfucker was ever watching these, I think he's probably the best. He's like he really is the like best player of this game. Like, I know some people, there's other ones, but I think just in terms of his outlook and opinion and like his skill level, like I remember I was watching one of his videos and he was like, oh, sorry, I have to take like a text for work. He has a life outside of this game, and he's still one of the top leading players, and he really doesn't get upset when shit doesn't go his way. And that's really important when it comes to this sort of thing. And I think in some almost universal way, like a symbolic way, his hit the energy, like the energy he puts out there, man, is kind of it's not that really big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal. And that's one of the issues to continue on from the restaurant rant is these managers. And it's understandable. Like, I get where these people are coming from, but they don't have something that they can point towards and say, they can't point towards and say, this is what it is I do. Like they can't, and it's unfortunate, but it's all right, dude, come on. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of the truth. They have to make what it is they're doing more important than it really is, when it's really not that big of a deal. Like, you're a manager of a restaurant, like they make it into this, I don't even like how do I put it? Like, this, I don't want to say apocalyptic sort of thing, but they will, like, these managers will make it this like life or death sort of thing. Like when I worked at this place, and fuck this place, I don't care to name this one, is I worked at a place, it was a steakhouse, and it was, or I don't want to disparage the spot, but there was a guy there, his name's Diego. Like, Diego is the dude who, not a lot of women, honestly, not a lot of women probably like him, to be completely honest, because he's a fucking prick. And then he would make the atmosphere of the restaurant this, militaristic, like, he is the, like, drill sergeant or something like that. Like, you're holding plates because it's steak, so they need to be a certain temperature, and you will be getting blisters on your hands, and it's that you need to hold them in a certain way. You need to do this in a certain way. You need to do that in a certain way. And it's like, dude, chill the fuck out. We're like bringing people fucking food. It's not, someone's life is not on the fucking line about this shit. And then one of the times, like, prior to working here, I had worked in fine dining restaurants, and there are certain there are certain, like, I guess you could call it like a code, and anytime that a guest or a table, anytime a table wants to add something on, and if you're aware of what course they're on, and so say hypothetically they're doing 3 course, which will be appetizers, entrees, desserts. If you go in and you write in on the ticket on like it's literally just an add-on meal, or dish, or whatever the fuck they want you to call them. You just literally type, you go in and type like special request it, and you just type add-on. It's it. You just put add-on, and all it means is it's on the same course that they're on at that very moment. And so I go in the back, and I tell them, because that's what you're supposed to do. And I go in, I'm like, yeah, that's an add-on. He's like, so they want it right now? I'm like I'm kind of looking at him like, dude, like, you're acting, you know what I mean? You're acting like you know what the fuck is going on, but you don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm like, so I kind of sarcastically say to him, I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And I said it to him just like that. I was like, yeah, I guess so. And he's like, well, he's like, how did he word it? He was like, well, like, how was it? Because it was such a, like, douchey thing for him. He was like, I timed out already? That's it? Oh, fuck. This is going to take forever. He's like, we don't guess around here. We know. And I'm like looking at him thinking, dude, you are taking this way too fucking seriously. Like, you are taking this way too fucking seriously. By this point, I already seen the chef drop a fucking steak on the floor that he used later. He dropped it on the floor and put it on a little plate, and then I watched him use it for another plate. Like, he must have, like, rinsed it off and then recooked it or some shit. There's, like, literally cockroaches and dead rats under certain pieces of like restaurant equipment. So it's like, dude, you're sitting here like, there was this little Asian guy from Hong Kong or some shit. First time to New Orleans. If anyone that was listening to this, if you've ever had, it's a beer, it's Holy Roller beer. It's an IPA, so it's already going to be very hard on your stomach. It's higher alcohol percentage. It's higher. It's harder on your stomach, and they IPAs for whatever reason tend to get you totally fucking split off like three, four, six, eight of them. You have like eight of these, you're fucking done. Like unless you're a raging alcoholic, you're fucking done. Now this dude was 58 to 65 years old, and here I'm gonna. Oh fuck! I can't pause it. And he had one. I mean, bear in mind, this guy's like a little old Chinese man, you know? So he's already coming from somewhere where, it's probably seen as, dishonorable or something to get so drunk in public, especially in a restaurant. And he's like, probably feels fucking terrible about it. But he he had one of them. And now bear in mind, the guy who sold them to him was one of those dudes that will absolutely oversell. He'll absolutely oversell people and pressure them into buying shit they don't want to up his like ticket, his overall ticket, which then in turn kind of forces the hand to up his tip percentage. And now bear in mind, this place, you're making fucking money at this place. I remember on a double, like I was saying in the last video, off a double at some of these restaurants, you're there like 13 fucking hours, and you're leaving with like $280, which to some people sounds like, hey, that's not really that bad. Which no, it's really not that bad. But when you the place I'm at now, a double, you're fucking blessed to make, let's say, 280. This fucking place, you're making like 780. So you're making like almost $800 fucking dollars on a fucking double day. Like you're making $800. You know what I mean? Like you really can't beat that. Like especially if you're an addict, like you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, dude. Like hell fucking yeah, dude. That's a lot of fucking substance that you can use, that you can get at that price. You know what I mean? So it's like, there we go. So yeah, you're making like, you're making like $5,000 in a month working at some of these places. And bear in mind, it's fucking cash, dude. Like it's cash that you're making. So yeah, you're gonna be totally fucking stoked about going, but that money eventually doesn't mean a fucking thing. It really doesn't. You're so fucking miserable that it really doesn't matter. But $800, like $780, you're walking out with, you could just never show up again, and you really don't care about getting that last check because your money is not from your check. It's from the cash that you're making. And so you really are not going to get that most places. You're not. But you really are trading part of your sanity for that money. And that sounds fucking great. Like $780 off a double. That's fucking awesome, dude. That's what people are making in a week in some restaurants. So of course it's going to be this, like positive thing, but it's going to be people who are taking the shit too seriously. Like they simply are. Like they're just taking it too fucking seriously. Like if you go in and you tell these people like what you want to do or the dreams that you have, you're absolutely gonna get eyes on you. Like you think you're hot shit. You think you're better than everybody else. Like you're just too good for working in this restaurant. And one of the girls at this restaurant, she was from someplace in like Africa, I remember, because she was black, but she wasn't like Dominican black. She was like African black. And To her, making fucking $780 to me is fucking wild. To her, it was like beyond anything like that. That is like what, like if that to me is some other restaurant, like a week pay, like per week you're making $700, like per week. Like, but in a night, in a single day, you're making 780. To her, it's like the fucking just crazy, you know. But then you got guys in there, like there's another guy. He had a daughter who the mother of the child was not in the picture, and he was living in some crummy apartment that he had to take the bus to and from. His daughter and him were sleeping on a fucking just on the floor twin size mattress. These are the people you're working with, are people that view you as this entitled, oh, I don't need this job. This is just to get some money, and then the fucking manager is this guy that takes his shit way too seriously and he's militant about it, but then he's secondarily like the guy that, and if you know cars at all, there are people who they buy a car for the looks of the car. They're not buying the car for what the car is inherently. Like when people that are into cars and there's a big, oh, well, it's not a manual. There is a huge difference when it comes to car people from like a 5.0 Mustang manual. You get like, and then if they can tell you, they've got this, and this done to it, they've got that done to it, and there's a huge difference between like a 5.0 manual versus like a V6 automatic or the 4-cylinder automatic. Like there are just differences. This one's going to take fucking forever. There are just differences in it. There are. And he is the guy who goes and buys the V6 automatic or the 4-cylinder. I think it was a 4-cylinder. It was like the 4-cylinder automatic with beige interior. It's the same shit as a grandpa getting a convertible, fucking red convertible Corvette with beige interior. It's just the grandpa car. It's the car that the guy is getting for the simple sake of it being, it's a Mustang. But he knows nothing about what it is that makes a Mustang a Mustang. And that's the unfortunate truth of the people that you're working around when you are in those sorts of situations, is that, it's the 80% of people who have just completely given up. One of the guys that I know that I was working with, he would like he was working, and it was his brother was like an alcoholic or like had some disease or whatever the case was. So he was paying for like his brother's rent, he was paying all his brother's bills, and then he was giving money to his family. And bear in mind, this dude is in his mid to late 40s, early 50s. He has no money saved. He told me it was probably around $250,000 that he's given his family over the course of the past decade, which that's commendable, but he had nothing set aside for himself at all. Like at all. Not whatsoever. And he knew he was fucking himself totally. And I remember telling him, like, dude, you need to start caring about yourself, because all these people are probably going to turn their fucking backs on you the second that you can't provide something to them anymore. And it's a really unfortunate truth. And he knew that. But he really wasn't ever gonna do anything about it. Like, he wasn't going to. He was just gonna work there till he was fucking dead. He might move himself. He might be moved into like a managerial role, or he'll be in the office. He could be like the HR guy or something like that. Because I was thinking, this dude is totally fucking himself. And that's like, again, a really unfortunate truth about people in restaurants and in life in general, is that they overexert themselves and give too much to people who do not give a shit about them, because I can fucking assure you that these places do not care about you. They don't. They don't care about you at all, whatsoever. And they will stomp on you the second that they fucking can, and they won't feel bad about it at all because you're just a number. If you're one of the highest paid people and they can get you out of there and onto like so it like think of this what this looks like on paper. An employee that was one of the highest paid employees, and you can catch them on potentially doing something like stealing money, or it's not even stealing money because like there was this dude, his name was Rico, at a hotel that I worked at. He was a bellman, and Rico had people coming every single year. He would get envelopes because the bellman split tips to get everyone to work together. So he would tell people, put it in an envelope and give it to the front desk, and I'll collect it at the end of the day. Just let me know that you are, so I can know whether or not they have taken the envelope or not. This dude would apparently get like stacks of envelopes from people, like stacks of envelopes from people that allowed him to go and pay cash, full outright cash on like a $35,000 car. That's the kind of money that these sorts of that people can make in some of these places. But if you can get Rico out of there, who's the bellman making probably 12 or 13, $15 an hour, and then he's leaving with eight, $900, $1,200 a day in cash during the Christmas. Like during Christmas, on Christmas Day, if he's working Christmas Day or around then, his averages are $2,000 a day. Yeah, that's gonna be like that is to like they can label it whatever they want to label it as fucking theft. That really that money was supposed to somehow fucking go to the hotel because they get money off of they get money from if the profits go up, they get a better bonus. So why would they not want you out? Like why wouldn't they? But they don't care if it then gets replaced with someone, and every single one of those people that would go see Rico at the fucking hotel would go to the place that he went to because he gave people his card. He would have these people like in email where he would just mass send email and be like, yeah, I don't work at such and such place anymore. The fucking rooms went down because of that. Because they got rid of him and it went down because of that. And they don't give a fuck. They don't because they're fucking stupid and they're making their position bigger and more important than it fucking needs to be. And it's really sad that that sort of thing needs to happen. But that's the fucking reality of things. Everyone has been made to feel that if you're not driving around in a Ferrari, and that's kind of that's like a, how do I put it? It's like a extreme example. You know, oh, if you don't have a Ferrari and a fucking condo in Miami and you're making $1 million every month, then you're not shit. Like that's not the fucking case. But that fucking idea, like I was watching a video last night about people who are making content online, and it's like, yeah, they're making $15,000 a month and they work 2 hours a day and they go and find videos and then just react to the video. Like that's fucking spectacular. If I could do that every single day, just 2 hours a day, and I make an extra $15,000 a month, dude, everyone would do that. But if everyone's special, no one's special. Not everyone's gonna be do. Not everyone is gonna do that, and there is always something about that person that makes them get into that position. There's something, whether it's right place, right time, or their voice, or what they have to say, or the videos they pick, or whatever the case may be. But that, like, condo on the beach, $1 million a year with 4 fucking Ferraris, that sort of thing bleeds into fucking everything. It bleeds into everything. And so you'll be, let me go put more water in this. But it unfortunately bleeds into everything. And okay, so we're gonna. This bitch should be able to 150 that guy. Which one is it? I've already done that one. Oh, Lord. But to continue what I was talking about, I've asked a lot of people, and it, and I have noticed it's more, well, I, maybe it's just because I've asked more guys about this, but I'll ask young guys, if, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you do? You know, what do you want to do? And the amount of dudes, especially younger guys, that say they want to be an influencer is fucking crazy. Like, it's insane how many want to be influencers or they want to be like Twitch streamers or something. But these people have like they literally don't have like personalities. Like they don't really have anything really that useful to talk about. They're not that charismatic. They don't really have like a well defined personality or sense of self. And there's this girl that I work with, and I asked her that question. I was like, if you could do anything, what would it be? And she pretty much said she would want to be a Twitch streamer. And, you know, I will chit chat with her, and I can tell, you know, I'm not that, but I'm at least aware enough to know that certain people just either have it or they don't. And there are people that I don't think have it is when they really don't have many, I don't want to say opinions, but let's see. Okay, cool. It's just they're not entertaining to listen to. Like, they're just simply not. Like, whether you fucking love him or hate him, that dude Asmongold, he has some pretty crazy out there shit to talk about. Like, he will talk about some pretty wild shit. And that's probably why people like listening to him, is because he is genuinely entertaining to just listen to, because he says some just outlandish shit. And that's, you know, watching him struggle and do terrible at some video game, and then he roasts himself and people are telling him how bad he is, and he's like, yeah, I know I'm fucking bad. Like, he has that it factor, you know what I mean? And that's just the case of, and, you know, even just being someone with a goal, a dream, an aspiration, wanting to do more, you get bullied for it. A lot of these, like Logan Paul, even. I've met Logan Paul, by the way, before he was like famous. I met that dude, by the way, and I immediately knew this dude had the fucking it factor. Like, he had the fucking, you know, I was like, this dude's gonna be famous. Like, I didn't even need to really talk to him very much, just to know the dude was gonna be fucking famous. I didn't even know who he was. The dude that I was there with that day, it was at a trampoline park. And, you know, he really doesn't seem to make what he's doing. Like, because I remember when I was talking to him, it was at a trampoline park. And he did have a camera crew with him. He he didn't have a camera crew with him, and he was going around and talking to everyone. Like, he went and introduced himself to literally everybody in that bitch. He spoke to everyone and asked everyone their name, and he was very personable. He was like very easy to get along with, and it was not just that, but he would actually fucking listen to people when they spoke to him. Like, he wasn't looking around and thinking, oh, when is this person gonna shut the fuck up? He really seemed to care. And that's one of the things that led me to think this guy is gonna be fucking famous, like he is. And then when we were there, he's also like fucking 6'3", some crazy ass shit. And he he was like he's like 6'3" in crazy shape, fucking blonde Nordic looking dude. And then I remember he was on this trampoline in like the middle of the park. It was like it was in a warehouse, and he's bouncing off his back, bouncing up, spinning in place like a bullet. Like, I mean, this dude was like fucking like, he would bounce on his back, go up, spin, 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 onto his back, spin, spin, spin. He did this shit like continuously. There was no fucking up. None of it. None. And I remember I was watching him because it was an area that I used to like to go because it was more secluded. I really wasn't that good at the time of doing flips and shit or anything like that. And I remember thinking, like, this dude is fucking crazy. I mean, this is fucking nuts. And when I was talking to him, because he came over and he introduced himself, or he asked me my name and whom I was, what I was there, what I was trying to learn how to do, introduced himself. And I asked him who he was. I think I told him, I was like, yeah, the guy I'm with knows who you are. I don't really know who you are. What do you do? And he was like, oh, I want to make videos. I was like, what do you mean videos? He's like, no, just go around and make videos. And I was thinking, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Going around and make videos. I was thinking, how do you make money doing that? I don't think I asked him that. But I was like, I did not see what he saw, right? And as we're leaving, me and the dude I was buddies with at the time were leaving. They had this long, like they had real long trampolines that would be probably, it was like a springboard times like 30. And so you can't, you can do round offs on them, but you're not going to get good momentum cracking a round off from it. It's more of the, effect. What time is it? 10:30. Holy shit. But like, so he was there. There was this punching bag, and then a ball, like a medicine ball. Looked like a medicine ball, but it was huge, and you could go up and grab onto him. And as I'm leaving, this dude jumps, 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 and I'm seeing him from kind of the other side of the park. He grabs onto the punching bag. This motherfucker doesn't just grab onto the punching bag. He like grabbed onto the punching bag, like gripped that motherfucker. And then he was like on the top portion of it. It wasn't even the bottom of it. Like he didn't get just enough momentum to grab that bitch. No, he like grabbed that motherfucker. And everyone's cheering at this point, cheering for the dude. He's got his legs wrapped around it, and he lets go with his hands and like looks at everyone. He relishes in what's going on and leans back and like takes it all in. And that was a moment I was thinking, I was like, this dude famous. Like this dude famous. He just ain't famous yet. So, you know, the point of saying that, I don't remember the original point, but a overarching point is the dude doesn't take what he's doing. Now I remember. He doesn't take what he's doing super serious, and people like that. People like him. People like Logan Paul or Asmongold or fucking, any of these influencer type people. They cannot work normal jobs. They can't. These people that have to go out with security, they cannot live the life of a normal person. They can't. Because the normal person is unfortunately a very depraved, degenerate, like manipulative, sociopathic, narcissistic type people. They are just people who take advantage of everything that they fucking can. And working in restaurants, they tend to be drug addicts, alcoholics, abusers, and they will absolutely crush these people. Like, you can't, they, like, and they take what they're doing too fucking seriously. Like, they do. Call of Duty back in the day used to not be this thing where everyone wants to be fucking Major League Gaming. It becomes one of those, if everyone is special, no fucking body is special. That's a huge thing that you will find, because this game is played a lot by people who are probably way older than the targeted demographic. But I've been playing this game for like 12 years now, and it's one of those, I accept that it's stupid, but it still brings me fulfillment. And there's just unfortunately people who, with Call of Duty or RuneScape or WoW or, Marvel Contest of Champions or Fortnite, and they take it way too fucking seriously. Like, I'll be playing, like, I play Call of Duty Mobile. I can't play several games in a row because you play one or two really good games and then you start getting put into lobbies with people, it's on a phone, and I do use the crab claw, as they call it, where you're using your index fingers and your thumbs. And once you get used to it, it's really simple. But there are people that are like hopped up on Adderall and fucking energy drinks, and just, they are like wired, dude. Like, they're sliding around corners and shooting while they're sliding. I don't want to play with those people. Like, they need to chill the fuck out. Like, that was not the case back when I was back in my day. That was not the case. It was people sitting next to each other on a couch, playing on the same TV with all their buddies in a room. And if you really wanted to get fucking out there with it, you could you could set up, multiple TVs in a room and hardline each other. And that way that was like the closest you got at that time to playing online. And so I need one and twos. Okay. But that has just really been lost. It's the same as when someone's in a car and they think of the fact that they're in a car, that people can't get them. They can say whatever they want to say and no one can get them. And that's really, and it's the same as when you just look at fucking online. Look at, that was probably way too fucking many. That was way too many. Yup. Oh well. People in a car and no one can get to them. Oh, motherfucker. It was the tier 2 base. Is that the one I bought? Oh well. Here we go. And it's unfortunate. Like, it is an unfortunate thing, but it is this, you know, these are all just thoughts. But people look for something to garner fulfillment from, to garner a sense of accomplishment or achievement or purpose. And a lot of people just don't have that today. They don't have the it factor. They're not special. And people have been conditioned to think that everyone is special, everyone, can do great things. And unfortunately, that's just not always the fucking case. Like, some people simply aren't going to accomplish great things. It's really, really fucking sad, and I wish that it didn't have to be that way. But when you really engage with, and restaurants is a good way to kind of experience this, but you experience people that they don't have ways and avenues and a sense of meaning or a sense of purpose or what they're doing with their life. They don't really like doing. Like, they don't really enjoy doing it. And I've experienced that with, some of the restaurant owners that I talk to or know or work for. They never saw, like, they'll say, like, I never saw myself owning a restaurant. Like, that was not what I had planned to do. And some of these people, there we go, bitch. Like, some of these people, they make good money. Like, they make good money, but they just didn't foresee that they would be a restaurant owner. And they went and did whatever it was that their parent told them to do, and they really didn't want to do it. But they didn't really have anything otherwise that they really thought about or planned to do. And they and it's just this deep level of being unhappy, and it does lead to this making whatever it is that they're doing seem more important than it really is. Bitch. It's just more important than it really is, and people do that all the time. And it's in a lot of different spaces, and it's really sad and unfortunate. And I don't want to say sad as in deserves pity, but it's sad that some people aren't happy with living just a normal fucking life. Like, they don't want to live a normal life. But I can tell you, even as I as a valet, you do meet a lot of, I personally know the guy that he owns like every single fucking Wendy's in like Austin, Texas, or like Houston or some shit. Like, he owns every single one of them. And he told me, I have more money than I know what to do with. And I was, I was like low key, like hoping, like, okay, well then give me some of that fucking money, dude. Like, if you have so much money you don't know what the fuck to do with, I could absolutely use some money. Like, I'm not gonna ever turn down money. Like, you like me, dude? Well, then throw me a couple bones. Like, throw me some of that, dude. Like, don't be fucking stingy with it, And I never saw the guy again. I don't know, maybe he fucking died or something for all I know. Rest in peace if he did. But these people, like, when you know them, like, you get to know them, there is this like underlying sense of they get it. Like, they get it. They don't take what they're doing to be, something that it's not. They just take it as, yeah, I own fast food joints and I make a lot of fucking money doing it. Like, it's awesome. Like, if everyone knew how to do it, but not everyone wants to own fucking all these different Wendy's. But some people, they do, or they just don't care. Like, it's like, to them, it just makes sense. It's like, it's a very easy thing for them. And if everyone was trying to own Wendy's, and sure, if you own just one, you're probably able to fucking support yourself. Like, you can manage to live a really good life owning a fucking McDonald's or owning a coffee house or owning a restaurant. And you can. But unless you are just money minded, you really aren't thinking about it in I kind of want to see which one's better to do. But there's always this understanding amongst people that don't make things, you know, some some this like thing that it doesn't need to be. Like it doesn't need to be this, you know, you know, like very deep purpose of, selling people food, making a video for YouTube. Like there's people, like I said, that work. I heard the dude works 2 hours a day and he makes $15,000 every single month. So it's like, dude, he works 7 days a week, but he's making videos, never has to leave his house, never has to go do anything. And it's just not as fucking serious. Like it doesn't have to be that fucking serious. And a lot of people are making shit more serious than it needs to be. And that statement can be, you know, like it can be with so many different things. It can be taken so many different ways. So let's see, how many furies does that give me? None. Okay, so and don't get me wrong. Like I said, I get it. Like I get it that people want to have like a meaning or purpose in their life, and that's totally justified. But there does just come a time where it's like, dude, you're taking this shit way too fucking seriously. It's not that big of a deal. And that can also be understood when it comes to, dealing with women. Like, women do want men who have a future ahead of them. And now, the two halves of the coin is there's a lot of guys out there who really don't have a sense of purpose or meaning or anything that's, more than themselves, even if it's something fucking simple that's not this, there are people who are the fucking, number one bowling champion guy, and they make it into something, I don't say more than it is, because it does take a long time to fucking get to be the number one bowling champion. But there are just people who, when they're the number one bowling champion, they see it as like, I mean, man, I'm able to fucking bowl and make, X amount of dollars, and, people in my field really like what I do, and I get fulfillment from it. And then there's people who want to be like the fucking, like, what's like a movie that portrays that? Maybe like Blades of Glory is something that's coming to mind, where it's like they try to turn it into this thing that it doesn't, that it's not. And it's a mindset. And that really is like the easiest way. It's like, it's always a fucking mindset. Like when people say, oh, it's energy, they're talking about it's a mindset. That some things, is this going to go through it? No, it doesn't. That sucks. That fucks my whole run up largely, because he would start ticking away. Yeah, no, but oh well. It's like a mindset. Like when you are handling or dealing with women, if anyone, because I'm trying to keep all of these, this one will be finished once this one's done. If you're dealing with women, something that I think young guys should understand about women is they're like, they will go with the better option. And obviously there's women out there that, will love you for you, and they'll like stick with you through the hard times. But I can personally attest to women will, when you are like, you could be their boyfriend, they will, with you there, fucking cheat on you. They will, with you there, give their number to another guy. Without, like, they absolutely will. They will when they're fucking married. They will on their fucking wedding. Like, they will on their bachelorette night. Like, dude, I think that the amount of women that cheat on their fucking bachelorette night is way fucking more than what most dudes think. And a lot of them, I can even, like, I have personal experiences and I have experiences where the shit actually happened and I wasn't the one that did it. But I was at a restaurant one time, or I was at a restaurant. I was working at the place I work at now. And there was this group of people, right? And I already knew that they were probably gross, degenerate people just because of the things that they were saying. And they were, so it was a bachelorette night, or it wasn't even bachelorette night. It was the night before the wedding. Here, one second. It was the night before the wedding. And she ended up cheating. Okay. It was the night before the wedding. And the bride fucked a dude that was invited to the wedding. He was there when they were getting married. And she told, I don't know if they, I don't even remember if they actually got married or if he called it off. I don't remember. She told him on the fucking, in the car, on the way to the wedding or whatever it was, however it was like, I know you're not supposed to see the bride before whatever, but I'm nearly positive they rode to the wedding together or what the fuck ever the case was, right? Whenever it was, I don't know if it was before she had her dress on, because you know you're not supposed to see the bride before the dress, whatever. They were taking a car ride on the day on the wedding day. She tells him what happened. And one of the other women in the group, like, it's like six of them, it's three couples. And she's like, yeah, I don't know why she told him. I told her that it happened, like, get married and it'll be a turning of a page or some shit like that. And I'm thinking, you ignorant fucking bitch. That is like, no, dude. And then even the dudes were like, so why did she tell him? And I'm thinking, why did she tell him? She felt horribly guilty, which she should have. She told him, feeling horribly guilty, that she fucked another man the night before their wedding. And everyone at this table is saying that, for the most part, the ones that were being vocal said that she shouldn't have said anything to him. Shouldn't have fucking said anything to him. And just went on about her life. Let me tell you right now, just because you get married doesn't all of a sudden mean everything that's happened in the past is all of a sudden no longer. It doesn't mean that it's in the past. Like, that doesn't, you lose your fucking hand. You can't be like, well, it was in the past. You know, like, no, bitch, you still don't have a fucking hand. Behavior has that shit. Like you do things, it's going to have repercussions. And that is not something you should be doing. But it's just grimy fucking people. I don't remember the point of what I was trying to make, but that was a fucking story time. Oh, it's a mindset. So to try to make this into a, I don't know if it's a synopsis, but like to make a long story short at the end, people need to stop taking things so seriously and making them into things that they aren't, because it doesn't help anything. And it bleeds into every aspect of society where everyone thinks that everything is more valuable or more important than it really fucking is. And this mindset it can be understood by people who have that mindset. And I really truly believe that by large, I have that fucking mindset. And probably a lot of, if you're watching this to this point and you're agreeing with me, the odds are you have it fucking too. And MSD fucking has it. Like, he gets it. And that dude who owns all the fucking Wendy's restaurants in fucking Houston or Austin or whatever it was, he gets it. And that mindset is going to help you in so many different avenues when you do not make things more than they need to be. And that mindset is a lot of what women look for when they are dealing with men. And women will leave you. And in part, rightfully fucking so. If you're a guy that takes everything too fucking seriously and make it into more than it needs to be, and make it into this big fucking thing when it doesn't fucking need to be. Because that's the unfortunate reality of what we're going through in the world today is no one has any sense of like, that's the word I'm looking for, like like being humble. Like no one's humble, or very few people are. And this could be my next video, but I ain't got no problem with billionaires. Are some of them fucking assholes? Yeah, they are. But just like this game, there are people willing to go the fucking extra ultimate step to get what it is they want. And more often than not, the very people that hate billionaires are fucking angry because they're not the fucking billionaire themselves. But they're so inept that they themselves are never even going to be able to be a billionaire. So they hate those who have what they don't, which is just this capacity and willingness to get whatever it is they want. And they don't care about you. And is it right? Well, that's dependent on what you think right and wrong is, which could be another video, which probably will, because these are really entertaining to make. But anyway.